Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to give you my thoughts on the 1998 movie Jack Frost. Now, Jack Frost, of course, starred Michael Keaton. He had George Clooney set up for the role at one point, so Jim Henson's Creature Chef actually designed the look of the animatronic off of Keaton, which is kind of funny. But I think the casting worked out in everyone's favor. But anyhow, this is a movie I plan to give more of a proper viewing to for a bit now, at least when the season hits. I remember my parents watching this a fair amount when I was younger. I don't fully think I ever watched it myself. I know I seen it in spurts though. I know we had VHS at one point. And as far as me and Michael Keaton goes, I like Michael Keaton. I'm not like obsessed with him like in like the Batman kind of way as some people are. But it seems like every other role I see him in, I do always like him. I always think he's pretty good. Um, you also have Kelly Preston in here as his wife, who was a really terrific actress in her own right. It's unfortunate she passed a handful of years ago. You have Mark Addy as his as Keaton's best friend. But yeah, it's basically about this guy, this father who's not necessarily a bad guy. He's actually a good guy. But he's maybe a little bit self-serving, maybe a little bit too focused on still accomplishing his goals in life, not really being there the way he should be for his kid. And unfortunately, there's an accident one night when he's actually making the decision to drive back to be with his son, and he dies. But through sort of magic and love, the kid uses his harmonica, and it brings him back at least temporarily for Christmas. So you get some of the obvious comedy that's going to come with that, but you get a really really nice level of just sweetness. And anyone who's lost a parent, or it's something we're all going to have to deal with in life, is the prospect of losing our mom and dad. It's something I think about more and more, like, all the time, if I'm being honest with you, as much as I should be in a TikTok video. So even just that prospect, it affected me on a pretty meaningful level, and I think the movie portrayed that well. Michael Keaton does a good job, even when before the character dies. I enjoyed his performance; he was pretty good again. Um, I really liked him and Kelly Preston together. Joseph Cross as his son, Charlie. I think he did a pretty good job, a really good job for a child actor. And there's still some fun in the movie. It is like very sweet and sentimental, and it is sad, but there's still some fun and cheese to go with it. Uh, just the different like circumstances of Charlie not initially believing it's his dad, and just the antics of once he does, and trying to both keep that and then communicate it to other people, and just like kind of situational humor too with it. Um, but yeah, I think this is genuinely a really good movie. I know it did not do well when it came out. I know the internet still has a stigma with it for some reason. But I think a lot of that is probably because they just feel like arguing over Michael Keaton stuff just because he's been Batman. um, but yeah, to me, it's definitely one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies at this point. Definitely one I'd want to work in every year. The only reason I wouldn't is if I don't feel like crying, because I honestly did. It moved me and it affected me, and I always wear that sort of thing on my sleeve. Um, but yeah, I like this one a lot. I do think they should have titled it like Mr. Frost or Mr. Jack Frost or something like that, because there's been a lot of movies that have been called Jack Frost. We even had a movie a year just before this, just a sleazy horror flick called Jack Frost as well. Um, but yeah, I love this movie. It's the perfect length. It really hits on the level uh, you'd think it would with this sort of story, and it still infuses all the fun of what you'd want with a holiday flick too. So yeah, I guess the only criticism I have with it, gripe, is once in a while when they're doing the chase with the sleds and stuff, the CG, it gets a little bit dodgy, and there's like one shot in particular where it didn't even seem like the image of the snowman is fully rendered, so he's like kind of boxy, which is funny, a little odd. But like any time the animatronic, the creature shop created itself, I think looks very good and holds up. Um, so yeah, like overall, it's kind of stood the test of time on that end. I think as much as you expect out of a 1998 movie. So yeah, if I had to rate it, I'm giving it an A. I am. I think it's a holiday Christmas classic, and it's definitely going to be that way for me forever now. So yeah, what do you guys think about this one? It's definitely underrated for me. And yeah, follow me on TikTok, of course, Twitter, Instagram. Later.